Warning: this podcast may contain graphic violence, sexual themes, and bad language. If our language offends you, we apologize, but we do not give a fuck. Be mindful of your kids listening.
The Evil Never Dies podcast.
What's up, evil ones? Thanks for listening to the Evil Never Dies podcast. I'm Brett here with Carl. What's going on, man?
You say what's going on every week.
What's not going on?
Now, I thought I had a voice, but now I'm choking to death.
Looks like we got some limbs to cut down.
Yeah, we got some destroyed haunted house fencing.
Didn't look like it didn't fare too bad.
That fence is fucked.
Yeah, well, that ain't nothing but a thing. It's the cutting up the trees that's gonna suck.
Well, you said you wanted to go work in the haunt, so
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. I'm gonna have to go down and get the chainsaw, cut some shit up. So yeah. And we're extending the contest until next week. So,
well, that sounds unfair.
well, we only had one review. I wanted to give a couple other people a chance, at least get two.
I don't know. I'm the YouTube person. I'm not the podcast person.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a YouTube contest right now.
So what else has been going on?
Just the rainstorm, and it's been a really shitty week at work. So I get an award, and then I get one of the shittiest weeks in a long time.
Oh, yeah, you had to work over a couple nights, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work over next week too.
Oh, bummer. All right.
Did y'all see we're joined by our special guest tonight, the Momo?
The Momo.
He is a good friend of mine, and he gets thrown around and caught by me and certain people, and we throw him and catch him, and he sits on Sammy's lap, and that's where he is tonight. So our special guest this week is Sammy and the Momo.
Sammy and the Momo.
Very special friend of ours.
You got to watch the YouTube to see the Momo.
I just do it for YouTube at this stage. I don't pay attention to podcast part, except the midweek, since you won't put it on podcast or put it on YouTube.
I guess I could put it, just not my face, just put the audio on there with like a picture.
Why do you not want to put your face?
I don't know. Because like tonight, look at my face. My face is all red.
Your face is red.
I look like a fucking alcoholic when I'm not. I drink one night a week.
My face is all glowy and everything.
Yeah, you're all glowy. You got a glow to you.
Of course I do. I'm more comfortable being on YouTube than I am podcast. I'm Momo.
I don't know why my face is so red though. Maybe if I quit fucking touching it. But anyway. What are we talking about tonight, Carl?
Phantom of the Opera, ain't it?
Don't say that word.
Dude, it's sitting right here. Look.
Something will happen.
Phantom of the Opera is cursed. Nope. I gave you my fucked up versions of Scream Factory, jasonx, Jason Goes to Hell, and something. I think Friday the 13th Part 3. So we're doing jasonx this week, also known as Friday the 13th Part 9 or 10, or whatever the fuck number it was. I guess it was.
Would it be?
It would be 10. That's why it's an X.
Also
known as Jason Goes to Space.
And
Yes. Jason goes to space.
uberjason.
Jason did go to space.
Yes, he did.
Lots of stories on this thing. I mean, I haven't watched this movie in a long time until this week. And yeah, I am drinking tonight.
Me too. That's why my face is red, I guess.
And I'm drinking very, very, very strongly.
Yes, I made mine a little strong tonight too.
Orange or lime?
Very lime. I still got that little bit of orange left, but I don't know. I like the lime better. I might try the raspberry next time. You tried the raspberry?
I don't like raspberries.
Don't like raspberries? How about snozberry? Do they have a snozberry?
It's not berry. What?
Snozberry. Like on Willy Wonka?
No, but they got Skittles flavor.
Skittles?
Yeah.
I don't like Skittles in the first place, so
Why don't you like Skittles?
I don't like Skittles, man. I just don't know. I've never been a big fan.
No, you like stupid, whatever that stuff is you eat. The Maddie used to bring you Sour Patch Kids.
Oh man, I can't eat that stuff anymore, dude. I ain't had one of them since she gave me one. I don't think is. Oh God.
I'm getting ready to go see Maddie in April, by the way. It's going to be my own first road trip in 15 years.
Going by yourself?
Yeah, I'm going by myself.
Okay. That's cool.
And then I think in October, I'm taking a solo trip to Austin to see Kiss.
Yeah, that's a little too expensive for.
You're not going to go?
Oh man, I don't know.
I guess I'll go solo.
You gonna let me make payments?
No.
Well, then I guess you're going solo. I can't.
That's fine.
I can't afford it right now. And if tickets go on sale next week, then
They go on sale Monday if you're a Kiss Army member.
well,
I don't know. It's the day after the haunted house, and it's like 3.5 hours to get to Austin. So I don't know. I might just spend the night and come back the next day.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
My niece lives down there. I could in Waco. I might could stay with her.
That's halfway back.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Got anything else you want to add before we get going on?
No, I think
Jason
we've
X
said
here?
enough here. We've roasted half. I guess we don't do the unpopular free-for-alls anymore. We just talk shit before we start the show now.
Yeah, because we're a bunch of shit talkers.
So Jason X, this is a 2001 American horror science fiction slasher film is what the genre is, they claim.
Yeah, yeah. All right. It's directed by Jim Isaac. Written by Todd Farmer.
Our good buddy Tom Farmer. I like that
Um,
guy. He's funny.
Based on characters by Victor Miller. Produced by Noel Cunningham. You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah, his brother of Sean Cunningham.
Son of Sean.
Is his son? He looks older than the daddy.
Yep, it's his son. Cinematography, Derek Underschultz. Edited by David Handman. Music by Harry Manfredini. And the music sort of reminded me of like some of it like old Universal horror monster music in a way, a little
I
bit.
didn't pay a lot of attention to that. I know we're supposed to be reviewing soundtracks per Jerry Pauly's request, which I think he was joking with us, but we took him serious.
But yeah, I quite enjoyed the music in this for sure. Probably better than the movie itself. Production companies: Crystal Lake Entertainment and Friday X Productions.
Friday X.
Distributed by New Line Cinema. And it was released November of 2001 in Spain. And it wasn't released in the United States until April 26th of 2002.
Yes, there was almost a 2-year delay
Yeah,
from release to filming to release.
yeah. We'll get it. We'll get into that after a bit. Running time is 92 minutes. Country of origin is United States, but it was actually all filmed in Canada. Language is English. Budget 11 to 14 million dollars, and brought only 17.1 to the box office.
Yeah, it didn't
Did
do
really
real well.
shitty in the theaters.
Well, New Line did not help. We'll get into that
Yeah.
a little later too, I'm sure. But New
But
Line did not promote the movie.
it did triple that in home video sales, from what I understand. It's made almost up to $40 million in altogether with the home video sales. So, all right, want to go over the cast, or
Yeah, let's do the cast.
it's a long cast. I'm only going to go over the main ones,
Just
the main people.
let's just go to Todd Farmer and stop at him.
Yeah, he was sort of the best part in it, really. All right, we got Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees / uberjason.
Yes, Uber Jason, but I always thought he was called Jason X. I guess I'm too fucking dumb to realize that X means 10, and it was actually Jason 10. So, yeah.
Next, we have Lexa Doig as Rowan LaFontaine. She's like the leading lady in this movie.
She was really good. I don't know where she came from, but I thought I was really impressed with her as an actress, whatever you want to call it.
Well, she was on that Andromeda series.
I never watched it. She
And
did a lot of different little TV shows. She was in Arrow. Oh, she played Ra's al Ghul. I thought I'd seen her before. Yeah, she played Ra's al Ghul's daughter, Talia al Ghul, in Arrow. So yeah, I have seen her around. Really good in the movie. I thought she was actually besides Todd Farmer, best part of the movie. Next we
got Lisa Ryder as KM-14, the android.
Yeah.
Chuck Campbell as Sarnaron Payton.
Sarnaron Payton.
Yeah, it's Tsunaron. I guess the T is silent.
I guess so.
Melissa Aid as Janessa Zachary. Peter Mensah as Sergeant Elia Brodsky. I know none of these people, so I only know.
I don't think any of them have been anything except for Kane Hodder, obviously.
Kane Hodder, he's the only American actor in this. The rest of them are Canadian. So Dove Tiefenbach as Azrael Benrubi. Christy Angus as Adrian Thomas, Nurse Adrian Thomas. Amanda Brugel as Private Gecko.
Gecko? It was Gecko.
Gecko. Okay.
Gecko.
Yanni Gelman as Stoney. He was funny in it.
I thought he was stupid.
Todd Farmer as Private Dallas.
Yes. Now, what about that David Cronenberg guy? He's famous.
Yeah, he's a famous director.
Yeah.
I actually want to cover a couple of his movies that he's made.
So there is somebody we know in the movie, or know of at least.
Yep. He plays Dr. Aloysius Wimmer.
A real jerk. And they said, Todd Farmer said in the interview I watched with him that, whoops, I just knocked everything over. Sorry. I think I'm still on the air.
Yeah, you're on. I hear you.
He said that guy basically ad-libbed all of his lines. Anything that Todd Farmer wrote for him, he did
Yep.
not
He
say.
didn't like it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he
so he
put
just
it- rewrote his whole part, basically. Yeah.
everything.
Next, we got Robert A. Silverman as Dater Perez. Boyd Banks as Fat Lou.
I think we've got enough cast at this stage.
I only got one more. Jeff Geddes as Soldier Number One.
Well, who was Soldier
I only named the highlighted ones. There's a bunch more with that aren't
Okay.
highlighted. So, all righty. Want to go over what the movie's about there, Carl, or you want me to do that?
Well, let's see. I guess we'll do it this way.
The Hypnosis.
In 2008, sometime, mass murderer Jason Voorhees is captured by the U.S. government and held at the Camp Crystal Lake Research Facility. I guess they turned it into a camp. After numerous attempts to kill Jason over 2 years, the government scientist, Rowan somebody or another, puts him in a cryogenic stasis. They arrive with soldiers and they're going to try to, apparently this Jason heals himself. He like self-heals. So they come to get Jason. They want to freeze him away, but this, what the hell was the actor's name? David Cronenberg shows up and says, "No, I'm taking Jason with me." And Jason kills everybody. And then he gets frozen and the girl gets frozen. And like 3,000 years later, the spaceship shows up.
400 years later.
400 years later, the spaceship shows up and they find Jason and the girl frozen and take them to their spaceship to wake them up. And that is the plot of the movie right there. Jason is now in space. And there's a reason why Jason goes to space. I'll get into that a little bit later. It's not, Todd Farmer said this isn't the dumb Leprechaun goes to space or Hellraiser goes to space. There's a reason why they put him in the future in space. When do I need to get into that?
You want to go into it now before I go into the
Okay, I will explain why Jason went to space. So, backstory. Everybody knew that Paramount, I guess everybody knew. I act like everybody knows this shit. Paramount Pictures released the first 8 Friday the 13th movies. After Jason takes Manhattan, slasher films were pretty much at a bad state. They were kind of going down. So, they kind of shut it down. That was the end of that. In comes the Cunninghams, I guess the son and Sean Cunningham, who was the original. Did he direct it? Yeah, he was the director.
No, Sean Cunningham wasn't. He produced it.
The original movie?
Oh, the original. Yeah, Sean.
Yeah,
Cunningham,
Sean Cunningham was the original director.
Director, yeah.
And he basically got the rights back to it and went to Paramount. And Paramount's like, yeah, you can take it. You know, we're not doing nothing. So he went to New Line. And New Line was like, yeah, this is cool. His idea was to put Freddy and Jason in a movie together. So Jason Goes to Hell was the first movie not done by Paramount under New Line Cinema, the house that Freddy built. So this movie was setting up Freddy versus Jason. So at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, Freddy's arm appears. And this was setting up the next movie, which was Freddy versus Jason or Jason versus Freddy, whichever you prefer. Well, it went into developmental hell, as they call it. They could not come up with a storyline. They couldn't come up with a story that made sense. And it just kept getting delayed and delayed. And New Line really wasn't pushing it. So I think Todd Farmer and Noel Cunningham, the son, and Jim Isaac and Sean Cunningham decided, well, you know, we don't want Jason to be forgotten. So let's just put out a movie, you know, while we wait for Freddy versus Jason. So they came up with a concept. Well, we don't want to ruin how Jason Goes to Hell ends. So let's just put it in the future. So they decided, well, why don't we just have Jason go into the future, like go to space? Todd Farmer wanted to make this more of a dark movie, sort of an alien movie. And that was the goal. But before this movie came out in 97, Scream came out, which revived horror movies, but more or less the jokative, making fun of horror movies. So that sort of made this plot go a little bit more jokative and jocular. And it made it a Jason Goes to Space movie more than they planned. It was originally going to be a pretty dark, intense movie, and I think it would have been awesome. So that's my take on that. Jason versus Freddy did come a few years later, and it was a huge hit. So this movie was basically a fill-in in between Jason Goes to Hell and Freddy versus Jason. That is why Jason went to space. They didn't want to fuck up the storyline. So they figured if you go way in the future, it can't ruin Jason versus Freddy. And that's why this movie exists. And that's why they sent Jason into space.
There was a long time in between there, too.
New Line had issues.
From Jason Goes to Hell to this, you know. Jason Goes to Hell. Was there anything after Jason Goes to Hell?
The remake with
okay,
Sam Winchester.
Okay. All right. All right. Want to get into some trivia here?
Oh, I just heard a witch screaming outside.
A witch screaming.
Yeah.
Cackle.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, back to the show. We don't need interference from witches.
We don't need no cackling.
Sounded like a cackle for reals.
All right. The film only suffered a couple of seconds of cuts, alterations to earn an R rating, making it the least censored entry in the entire Friday the 13th series. Which it really wasn't that bloody gory, actually, I don't think.
It's got a few bloody scenes in it, but nothing bad.
Jason Voorhees' eyes never blink when they are shown.
Okay.
The first film in the Friday the 13th series to rely on digital effects for death and gore. There was hardly any practical effects in this movie at all.
None at all.
They tried to get Betsy Palmer.
For what?
I guess she was going to make an appearance, a cameo as Pamela Voorhees again. I think they've tried to get her back in a bunch of them, and she's never been available or something. But she was doing a play in Toronto at the same time that this was being filmed. So, and also she wanted way more money than they were willing to pay her. So she said no. At around 1 hour and 21 minutes into the film, the music played during Jason's first look at the virtual reality Camp Crystal Lake is the same musical score as the one in Friday the 13th Part 2 from 1981. So they like put an homage of the music in there. All right. One of the things which never won over everyone to the concept of Jason in space was the idea of the crew seemingly killing Jason, only for him to become recreated into something even scarier via futuristic technology. The mechanism of this change ended up being nanotechnology.
You just spoiled the movie with your trivia.
Spoiled it? Oops.
Brett spoiled the movie.
And I really noticed this. I told you that I noticed this already. Screenwriter Todd Farmer based much of the film on 1979's Alien, even naming one of the characters who he also played, Dallas, after Tom Skerritt's character in the Ridley Scott film. According to Noel Cunningham, the crew's children visited the set as a tour. Kane Hodder was still in the frozen Jason makeup and lay on the floor next to the life-size frozen Jason dummy. The crew and the kids would enter the set Kane was in and surrounded by the two Jasons, amazed how real they looked. And Kane would suddenly lunge at them, screaming, causing the kids to scatter in terror. I guess he was always good for that stuff. for doing that kind of stuff. I guess he's a big joker on the set. So
Todd Farmer, yeah, he is.
no, Kane Hodder.
Todd Farmer's a joker too.
Yeah, he is. He is. He did a good part in the movie, though, for sure. Okay, like I said earlier, nearly every single actor in the film is Canadian. Locals hired from Toronto. This was because it was much cheaper for the production to hire local actors than rather than flying them over from America. This was Kane Hodder's final appearance as Jason Voorhees.
You want me to be honest with you? I thought it was his worst appearance as Jason Voorhees. It was very cheap. I mean, like, you can tell it's Kane Hodder. He's like the back of his head. He don't even have like a, I mean, you can see Kane Hodder's hair and stuff. I did not think he did a good job in this movie.
He was sort of bland.
He was very bland. He didn't put hardly any makeup on. And like I said, you can see his hair. I thought Jason was a fucking
what?
I don't know, dude. It just I did not like the Jason in it.
All right. Remember when you said that they were having a problem with the script and stuff, and they couldn't find a storyline and all that? Film script was made through a public contest where the people willing to participate sent in different scripts, and they made them all out of all them. So that's where the script came from. Film takes place in 2010 and 2455, which is 400 years, not 3,000 years later.
Oh, sorry. Seemed like 3,000.
Let's see here. The film had completed shooting and production in 2000, but due to unspecified issues with New Line Cinema, it was not widely released in theaters in Europe until summer of 2000.
I know. I'm cutting you off. I know what the unknown reasons are. The president of New Line Cinema either quit or got fired.
Yep, and then nobody knew what to do with it.
They didn't want it. They wanted Freddy versus Jason, but not yet.
Character of Adrian is in reference to Adrian King, who played Alice Hardy in Friday the 13th 1 and 2. The original script featured a scene where two space truckers would find the chamber before their comrades did. Jason would awaken, escape, and have them take Rowan aboard, where he follows them. Another idea coming from this was to have a party in zero gravity to celebrate her saving. That would have been fucking stupid.
There's a lot of stupid in this, man.
Yeah. I think they tried to make it too comedic. Too many comedic.
And again, that's because of Scream, I think. Everybody wanted Scream movies. Todd Farmer really had a lot of plans.
Yeah. And they all got ixnayed. I think he's probably a little pissed about it all. Several of the characters in the film were named after screenwriter Todd Farmer's online friends in the PC game EverQuest from 1999.
Yeah, because Todd Farmer was a big EverQuest player. He said he hated to leave the house to go write the movies and be on the set.
At around 15 minutes in the film, the space debris floating in space has Cunningham Realty written on the side. It's a reference to the name producer Noel Cunningham's, the son of executive producer Sean Cunningham. In the raw footage for the film, there's several creatures and display cases on a wall, which include the monster from Fiend Without a Face from 1958, the Venusian from the Outer Limits, Cold Hands, Warm Heart from 1964. And the Zanti Misfit from the Outer Limits, the Zanti Misfits, 1963. Only the Venusian appears in the movie itself.
I totally don't even know what you're talking about now.
When they show that creature, there's a creature when they're all in this room on the spaceship, and one of them creatures is
I didn't understand that part of the movie either.
Oh shit. All right. Although the movie was shot on 35 millimeter film, it was then transferred to high definition video to aid in the creation of its extensive and elaborate visual effects shots. This made it the first feature length film ever to be entirely in the digital realm.
And you can tell.
Some of it looked like crap, though, dude. Like,
Well, it probably looked good on VHS back when it came out on videotape. The problem is it's early CGI and they weren't good at that.
yeah.
They wasn't good. So the graphics look crappy, but we're watching this on Blu-rays and 4Ks and upscales, and it just shows off how bad the graphics were. So I don't really know that I can blame that any more than I'm watching a 1950s movie that had pink blood and a bat on a string.
Exactly.
I don't hold that against the movie, honestly.
Yep.
They did a good job for the technology they had.
Yep.
You know, it wasn't the effects of the 80s, you know, when all the Savina stuff, but I think for what they had, they did a good job. Just my opinion.
All right. After the final script was completed, New Line Cinema actually loved it so much that they gave him 3 times the budget of the most expensive previous film in the series. However, during production, the budget wasn't big enough for creating many of the sets and effects, leaving many scenes in the script to be changed or taken out completely. But they put in the android's nipples falling off her boobies.
Todd Farmer, obviously.
Oh. The name Tiamat comes from Babylonian mythology. She's a dragon goddess of the sea who was slain by the god Marduk, who then formed the land from her carcass.
What?
Was there somebody in the thing named Tiamat? I don't know. I never seen nothing about it.
Dude, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
That's what it's saying here. There must be somebody in
I
there
have
named
no idea
Tiamat.
what you're talking about. I just watched the movie yesterday, and it's like you're talking a foreign language. I'm totally, completely lost at this stage.
All right. Producer Sean S. Cunningham said that what he loved about the script was they weren't telling the same exact tired old story of the films he'd been retreading for 20 years, which was true. It was definitely different.
Yeah, it's different.
Like you said earlier, David Cronenberg came on board and quickly noticed some problems with the script and began rewriting most of his characters' lines.
Yes, he did. He did not like the lines, and Todd Farmer said he was perfectly fine with it.
Jason X is the first Friday the 13th film to be rated 15 in the UK. Although Friday the 13th Part 2, 3, and 6 were originally rated 18, they were re-rated to 15. And Part 6 in 2002 and Parts 2 and 3 in 2008. So they got knocked down from 18 to 15. Take it they don't have R and all that ratings over there like over here. It's just by your age.
By your age. The older you are, the better, I guess.
Although the movie is known to have 28 kills throughout the film, Todd Farmer would confirm there's actually more than 20,000 deaths. due to the spaceship Grendel's destruction on the Solaris station. This included 19,727 people, 207 dogs, 17 cats,
17 cats. They
Four
killed
thousand
cats.
4,713 angelfish, guppies, neons, and mollies,
They killed a molly.
3 gerbils, 14 rats, a pony, and a Komodo dragon, which were either blown up or sucked into space. That's fucking funny, dude. I don't care what you say. Fucking pony. It had 4 different US release dates before it was finally released. They couldn't figure out when they were going to release this piece of shit.
Yeah. New Line didn't want this thing. Whoever was running New Line thought it was cool, and then he got fired or quit. I don't know which. And again, they just made this as a placeholder to get the Jason versus Freddy. So
Yeah.
Todd Farmer's very happy with his movie.
Yep.
He said he'd like to make a sequel.
Oh yeah. All right. The spaceship Grendel is named after a monster from Anglo-Saxon poem Beowulf, which the Grendel
Beowulf.
which
Yeah.
the Grendel was fought and defeated by the warrior Beowulf.
There is no way Todd Farmer thought that much through and all this shit.
I know he seems more like he's a fly by his tail there on a lot of stuff. So uberjason, along with the Grendel map, was going to be added to the Friday the 13th game, but due to a lawsuit regarding Victor Miller and Gun Media, all future updates,
Yeah, the whole game was.
except for bug fixes, had been canceled. It is unknown if they'll ever add this once the lawsuit is finalized. I don't know.
I don't think the lawsuit's still completely finalized.
Really. I don't know.
I was reading, they got this new series supposedly coming out. And what I gathered is that Sean Cunningham owns the rights to the adult Jason, and the other guy now owns the rights to everything that was in Friday the 13th Part 1.
What guy? Oh, the writer.
The writer from Friday the
okay.
13th, the original. I don't know what his name is. They've been fighting this thing out for
Victor Miller.
Victor Miller.
He's the one that created the characters, I guess.
Yes, but he didn't create Jason. He just had Kid Jason. I mean, Sean Cunningham didn't create Jason with the hockey mask, so I don't know how the hell I don't get how. I thought you would think Paramount Pictures would own the rights to this shit, or New Line, or both of them, because I think they both did the remake.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's supposed to be this TV show, and I can't find anything out about it.
All right. Nurse Adrian's death is based directly on a death from season 1, episode 23 of the X-Files from 1993. Roland, who's possessed by his deceased brother in the scene, kills a scientist by dunking his head in a barrel of liquid nitrogen, then smashing his head to pieces on the floor. So, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Film is included in Roger Ebert's most hated list.
I don't blame him. I don't blame Roger Ebert at all.
Oh. The character Waylander is sometimes referred to as Wayland, such as the character named Dallas. This is also a reference to the Alien movie.
Okay.
All right.
Is that it?
That's about it. What do you got left about this
Well, I'm gonna just give my story real quick. So I watched the movie last night. I haven't watched it in a long time, probably been several years. Um, thought I was gonna like it better, but actually I did not like it. I liked it worse, probably. Like you said, the special effects are bad, but I can't hold that against them because that's what they had back then. Um, it's just so cheesy and silly, and like I said, I don't like Kane Hodder's makeup. I don't think he even tried. I mean, you can see his hair. It's awful. Um, the main girl was good. I thought she did a great job, but
Okay, I got a question for you.
okay.
Do you think the movie would have been better if they would have tried to use more practical effects?
Maybe,
Like the gore and the bloody scenes,
maybe.
not
I
not
don't, I'm
not the
not gonna,
space scenes and all that.
I don't think so. I don't think it would because the storyline is just so silly. And I think Todd Farmer said, he wanted to make a dark movie, but that's not what happened. But like I said, after I watched the movie, I watched all the interviews with Noel Cunningham and Sean Cunningham and Jim Isaac and Todd Farmer. And once I heard the story they told, it changed my opinion of the movie. I think it's a good movie for what they had. I mean, again, the slasher films were dead at this point. Scream brought them back, but Scream was done more in a satire way. So I think they sort of made this in that genre, hoping that it would be a huge hit, and it did not work. And I don't really hold that against them. I think for when this movie came out, if you go back in time, it's an okay movie. It might even be a decent movie. And I mean, come on, we're comparing this to some of the Friday the 13th movies that are absolutely shit shows anyway.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of them were. Yep.
so I don't think I don't like the movie, but I don't dislike the movie after watching the guys who made it talk about it because there's a lot of love that these guys put into that movie, especially Todd Farmer. And he's proud of the movie. And he said that he thinks it stands up. So
Wasn't this his
I'm
first
kind
movie
of
that he wrote
drawn.
though? Wasn't this his first writing gig?
It was his first writing gig, and he started under Sean Cunningham on Jason Goes to Hell. A lot of people don't like Jason Goes to Hell, but I thought that was a okay movie myself.
I think I like it better than this one.
I'm not saying I like this one, but I understand where they're coming from. I've been in situations where things don't go exactly like I hope they will, but I try to get through them and make the best of it and hope at the end of the day everything's going to turn out good. Unfortunately for Jason X, it did not turn out so good because it didn't make its budget back. Well, it did make its budget back. It was barely, but it did sell a lot on home video, and it was a pretty good. This movie is great watching on a VHS tape on an old TV. In the digital age with 4K, yeah,
Yeah, when I was watching it last night, you can really tell the dating on it.
and
of
the
the
thing is, a lot of
technology.
those movies from the early 2000s and late 90s, they look really shitty because a lot of them, that's just how they were filmed. They weren't filmed on film.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think practical effects would have helped. I just think this movie is what it is. It fit the where it belonged, and
To set it up for
it set up. It just was a placeholder until they got the Freddy versus Jason going, and it didn't mess up the storyline from Jason Goes to Hell.
exactly.
And far as we know, the way Freddy versus Jason ended, Jason's still going. So yeah, years later, this movie could happen. So in canon, it sort of fits the weird canon that Friday the 13th has.
Exactly.
That's all I can say about it. I hate to hate on the movie. I don't think I can.
Can't hate on it.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
What else you got on this thing?
Well, I don't know.
I know.
It's like nothing much more can be said.
No, I was telling somebody at work today that, we picked kind of a weird movie, but we can't always pick movies that we love. It makes the show boring. I love Evil Dead 2. Oh, I love Dracula. I love this. We got to pick movies that are a little more obscure. I bet a lot of people haven't watched Jason X.
Maybe not.
So we got to pick movies that are a little out of our range of like or dislike even.
Yeah.
And I think in the case of Jason X, it's a movie that I don't like, but I don't dislike it. It's just there. It's just there.
It's sort of like a filler.
It's sort of like a filler.
Yeah.
But a movie, we can't pick movies every, I will never watch Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. Fuck Andy Warhol in period. That dude's a freak. I still think that Andy Warhol's Dracula was the worst movie I ever saw. It was bad. It was very bad. Bad movie.
All right.
So anyway, that's my take on this. It's just there.
Yeah.
And this is probably not going to be the best episode we did because you were like telling some story. I didn't even know what you were talking about. So
I vaguely remember something.
Last week's episode was great. The Kiss episode is awesome. Everybody's loving it, man. At least on YouTube. I don't know what's going on Apple or podcast or whatever. Oh, my neck popped. It's been a long week, man.
I'm scared to pop my neck.
It's a long week, man.
I might end up like this.
What else you got on this movie?
Nothing really, man. I think we're just gonna move it along and rate this thing.
How many machetes you giving this movie?
Oh man, I'm gonna give it about. I'm gonna give it 2, dude.
Deuces?
Yeah, deuces. Not a big fan. I wasn't a big fan of it when I first seen it back when it came out, and maybe if they would have been more serious with it and try to make it darker, like you said, maybe it would have been better. But just the comedic aspect of it and a lot of it, I'm not a big fan.
Well, I'm going to give it deuces and a half.
Deuces and a half. Okay.
2.5.
Like you said, I was really disappointed in Kane Hodder. I think
Kane Hodder really did a terrible job in it.
I think
I'm only giving this thing an extra because, like I said, after listening to the interviews and the way the guys made it, it was sort of a labor of love, and I give them credit for that. That's why I love. And let's go ahead and give the Scream Factory all the credit. They put out a fucking great DVD of this thing. New Line sure the hell didn't. So lots of good. All these interviews were brand new when the DVD came or the Blu-ray came out. So
what was supposed to be wrong with that one you gave me?
I don't know. Scream Factory's so picky. If something, I don't think it sank up the audio. I know the 3D one wasn't in 3D, and Jason Goes to Hell wasn't unrated, and everybody was pissed. So. But I'll give it deuces and a half, and I don't even know why I'm giving it that high.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's got to be really bad to give it anything lower.
yeah. I don't hate it, and I don't like it. I'll leave it at that.
I don't hate it either. It's just
at least Jason doesn't get turned into hamburger meat like somebody else we know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it could have been better. I personally think that they could have did the kill scenes a lot better if they would have used
I don't think it would have helped.
For back then, the space scenes, the spaceships going through space and all that, it was decent for the time, but yeah. So all right.
That's all I got.
That's all I got too, man. Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate it.
Probably not the best show we've ever done. So
No,
sorry.
it's not. But we got some stuff in the works here. We're working on. So, just this. I sort of hate doing a movie I hate.
We got to do them.
I know, but you get this.
Yeah, that's true. Well, usually one of us hate it and the other one loves it. So I don't know, man. Let's just say it's over.
Yeah, I
What's
can't.
your contest again? You want to give us
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Leave us an Apple review.
Well, some people are asking, what if somebody left a review? Can they leave another review and win
Yeah,
a
they can
t-shirt?
leave another review. It just wipes out your old review is all it does. So
How rude.
and you can do it on Windows, on your laptop or Windows device. Androids don't work though. You can't do it on an Android,
Fuck Android.
but you can.
There was an Android in this Jason X movie.
Yeah, her nipples fell off.
Our nipples fell off.
Yeah, didn't you see that part?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But
Okay, so
leave us a rating and review. Check us out on the social media, the YouTube, if you want to see our beautiful faces.
And Pumpkinhead.
And Pumpkinhead.
This is the real Pumpkinhead.
Horrormerchandise.com had Pumpkinhead merch on sale. You should get
Good
something.
for them. Good for them. Let's turn that light off now. We don't want to look at Pumpkinhead anymore.
Oh, I see your middle-aged and creeped out sticker there.
Oh, yeah. I don't have it stuck anywhere yet, but there it is.
But it's in the museum.
Well, I'm going to take the Momo here and just say goodnight, I guess.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Stay evil, everybody.
I'll be doing more Kiss soon.
Bye.
In the year 2455, on a routine training mission, a team of students is about to discover a life form frozen in time.
Wow. They're on their way back. Prepare for docking and power up the lab.
You brought him on board?
Everything's under control, ma'am. What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees, that's what's going on. He's an unstoppable killing machine.
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
How do we get off the ship?
I don't know.
Look, we're gonna be all right.
What? Are you high?
Uh-oh.
He's here. You have got to get them out of there.
Hey, Slappy!
I think we're finally okay.
What the hell is that? You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, wow.
He's been modified. Oh, you think? You guys might want to run. I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you just stick your head out and have a peek?